Hey, Nick Deckard here. Thanks for coming by to check out this week's video, which is all about why you should wait before you buy a home here in Ocean City. The truth is, now that the spring market is done, inventory is going to start to increase. It's going to be harder to get in some of these properties that have weekly renters, and homes are going to start to sit a little bit longer on the market. And despite that, what do you think prices are doing? They're still increasing. So I wouldn't be shocked if homes continue to sit until we hit the fall. It seems pretty clear to me. Waiting is the right choice instead of buying now. Would you agree? If so, hit the like button below. That's a pretty compelling case, right? To wait instead of buying now, but I'm here to tell you, you should only wait if you simply cannot afford to buy. I'm not going to tell you, and I would never recommend that you spend what you don't have. That would obviously be terrible advice. But what I will tell you is that when you buy a home in Ocean City, you're making an investment in your family. You're taking a step towards building generational wealth. Some people have come to me recently and said, Nick, I know I can afford more than I want to pay right now, but the market has to come back down. And I feel a little bit more comfortable. This is going to be a second home for me. I don't need to do this, but I want to do this. I want to wait a little bit. I want to see what happens. So if you're feeling like this client of mine who I spoke with recently, I want to tell you a story about a client that I started working with roughly 1 year ago. The pandemic just hit. Everything froze. This person knew exactly what they wanted. And we saw a couple homes at the time that were just a little bit off or a little bit over what they wanted to pay. And by a little bit, I'm talking 10, 20, 25,000. Nothing too crazy. With COVID wreaking havoc and the upcoming election, not knowing what's going to happen in the world, the market, they decided to hit pause. As you probably know, prices didn't come back down. The election didn't change things. COVID only made prices go up because everybody realized just how much they want to be at the beach. They want to have space, they want to be outside, and they want to have fun with their families. So there's a sad ending to this story, and it's that that client was priced out of the market entirely. And while there's always a chance that the market comes way back down to where it was a year, maybe even 2 years ago, if something catastrophic were to happen, namely a natural disaster, that is not something that I would personally be willing to stake my future on and my family's future, having fun and having a place at the shore that is our own on a very low probability event. And let's be clear, timing the market, whether it's the stock market or the real estate market, is a complete crapshoot. If we could all do it, we would all be rich and never have to work again, right? But in the big picture, there will always be demand to be here at the beach. The population is only growing, and even though development has continued to increase on the island, and there's a lot more properties to buy, to rent, and to live in, the demand is always going to outstrip the supply. There's only so much land on this island to build on. So while yes, inventory right now is still very low compared to what it's been in the past, if you think about it a little bit differently, there's always going to be a limited inventory, a limited supply of what you can buy here in town. You might be saying, Nick, why are you telling me this? I thought you said this is why we should wait. What are we doing here? I'm here to tell you that there is a key to getting this right. And that might mean waiting. That might mean not. And what is that key? And that key is finding the right home for you and your family and starting to build equity as soon as possible. I'm working with some of my dad's clients from 20 years ago who bought a 2-bed, 2-bath on the bay, a condo, for $200,000. Now that's probably almost worth $600,000, depending on location, of course. But we're talking about in the course of 20 years, that family has built up not only equity in their home, but they now have a place to enjoy, and should they ever need the funds, they have something that they can sell and walk away with a big chunk to support their family. and that can be you. While you're probably not going to find a 2-bed, 2-bath on the bay for $200K, the story still goes the same. The sooner you are able to buy something here in town and get your piece of paradise, the sooner you're able to start building up equity and to give your family that generational wealth boost that most of us could only wish for. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments or feel free to shoot me a text directly. Otherwise, I am glad you stopped by, and make sure you hit subscribe below to be notified when I put out my next video, and my videos each and every Tuesday. Thanks again, and see you on the next video.